Marty Supreme.
Timothée Chalamet, take two, take one. Chalamet.
Mary, what about Timothée Chalamet? We found out, I don't think we've talked about the pod. We found out
Timothée
Timothée
Chalamet.
Chalamet's real name is Timothée Chalamet, and it's Nell.
It's
Nell.
Timothée Chalamet.
Hello, I'm AJ Murga. Thanks for joining me today. I'm going to be reviewing Marty Supreme, the
Timothée Chalamet.
Timothée Chalamet. They'll be like,
classic film that was released in last December. Now, this was an interesting film directed by Josh Safdie. Josh Safdie's a really good director, and he's made some really good movies before.
I mean, I was Josh Safdie's muse when he wrote Uncut Gems.
Right.
Uncut Gems. Good Time is a really good movie as well. Just like those two movies before this one, they're all very fast-paced, very intense, with some great acting. All of that carries over very well into this movie, and really the number one thing about it is probably the intensity at which it's directed and the acting.
Timothée Chalamet
Is pretty phenomenal, actually. I think this might be his best role, and which is saying a lot. You know, personally, whatever.
And I don't want to be working in ballet or opera or, things where it's like, hey, keep this thing alive, even though no one cares about this anymore. All respect to the ballet and opera people out there. I just lost 14 cents in viewership.
As an actor, he's really great. He's been in a lot of good movies. To think that this might be my favorite of his roles, not my favorite of his movies, but my favorite of his roles, that's actually saying quite a bit. Marty Supreme, there is nothing likable about this guy. He is a detestable character who is incredibly narcissistic and selfish, and you can really see his unaware nature in
Chalamet
performance about how detestable he is. He thinks he's awesome. He thinks he's the second coming. And in some ways, for the table tennis that he plays anyway, he's a world-class table tennis player. He is. He's phenomenal at that. But he thinks he thinks he's that way pretty much at everything. And that attitude, that arrogance, really shoots himself in the foot throughout the film. And
Timothée Chalamet
plays that really, really well. He's walking this line of being hateable and being so damn interesting that you can't help but respect him and root for him. And he's pushing himself in this role, not just in a way of like, learning how to play an instrument or learning how to play table tennis. It's much more than that. You can tell he's playing a bad person who's not fully aware of how bad they are. And so that lack of awareness...
Me? Am I the drama? I don't think I'm the drama. Maybe I am. Am I the villain? I don't think I'm the villain.
Is, I think, a really, really difficult thing to portray, and he's doing a phenomenal job with it. It's hard to really kind of explain the nuances of his performance. They're just so subtle that you can't help but take your eyes off of it, and you can't help but respect the hell out of it. Yeah, no part of this character is heroic, but yet...
Is it Timothée? It's Timothée.
He plays him so well that you can't help but root for him, like he's a hero. Another great role in this movie went to Gwyneth Paltrow. It was good to see her in something that was pretty challenging and interesting and well written. She's an old Hollywood actress. Well, not old.
The violation is intense.
She's a famous actress. She's married to a billionaire who is played by Mr. Wonderful Kevin O'Leary. We'll get to that in just a minute.
$50,000 is not a small amount of money.
I'm here to make money.
he's an idiot. He's a con artist.
She does a great job. She's bored with him. She's bored with her life, and all of a sudden Marty Supreme comes into it and really injects some vigor and some excitement, as he does with everyone that he comes in contact with. He pretty much just uses them and moves on. But she is very aware of what is happening to her, unlike
Timmy, Marty, Luciana Gaib.
and she is okay with it at times, and at other times she stands up for herself and she moves forward. And it's just really cool to see the juxtaposition of Marty Supreme, who thinks he knows himself completely but doesn't know himself very well at all, and Gwyneth Paltrow's character, who knows herself completely and is cool with all of it. So I really liked the dichotomy between them, and I thought it was really refreshing to see Gwyneth Paltrow in a challenging role and it reminded me of just how good of an actress she's always been. One more good actress before we get back to Kevin O'Leary. I'm probably going to butcher her name. Odessa Azion?
Odessa Azion.
Anyway, she plays Marty's girlfriend, and she's phenomenal. She steals most of the scenes she's in. Eventually, there's some pieces to her character that kind of become unveiled, and you learn that these two are pretty perfect for each other, but in kind of tragic and sad ways. And so I really liked that about her. I liked how she could flip on a dime, and she could be the victim, she could be the aggressor, she could be a fly on the wall, and she was kind of cycling through lots of different versions of herself on a moment's notice, and I just thought she did a great job. Okay, so back to Mr. Wonderful. Full disclosure, I am a huge fan of Shark Tank. I've literally seen every single episode. Most of them I've watched multiple times. I never thought I would say this, but Kevin O'Leary was fantastic in this movie. Now, let's put an asterisk on it a little bit. I mean, I don't want to crap on this performance because it was really good, but he is pretty much playing himself, I think, in the role. I mean, at least that's what it comes across as. But no disrespect to that, no hatred on that at all, because I mean, you could say that about a lot of roles, right? I mean, Jack Nicholson's one of my all-time favorite actors, and he's kind of always a little bit of Jack in all of his roles, right? So Kevin O'Leary was really great in this. He plays an eccentric billionaire who is no nonsense, and he's all about the money, and that's kind of what he does on Shark Tank. But I gotta be honest though, he did not feel like a caricature. He felt like he had a real backstory. You get to know his core wound, and you can actually see the pain in his eyes when he has to talk about it a couple of times. There's a couple of times when Marty is super rude to him and he has to stand up for himself, and you can see it looks like Kevin O'Leary's actually getting mad right now. There's a lot of subtlety to his performance. I think some people could probably misinterpret it as him going through the motions in some places, and maybe that's true briefly, but I don't personally think so. I think Josh Safdie's an excellent director, and I think he got the best out of Kevin O'Leary, and I just never thought I would be doing a movie review saying that. Kudos to Kevin O'Leary. He's really good, and he's actually funny a couple of times. There's one part where he gets to embarrass,
And it could be Timothy or Timmy or Doug.
really bad, and I enjoyed that. Each of Safdie's movies sometimes, in my opinion, lose a little bit of focus. There's a part in this movie where a random matter of chance happens, and it gets Marty into some trouble, and then he has to spend a good portion of the movie getting himself out of that trouble, and none of that has anything to do with his table tennis career, which is the driving force behind the plot of the film, and really his character. And so therefore, a little bit of loss of focus. So if you've seen Good Time, the part when Robert Pattinson picks up a guy, and the guy tells him this like long-winded story in a car ride, and then eventually this guy like ends up being somebody who actually has a significance on the end of the plot. That to me was weird. It was a long sidetrack to the actual real story between Robert Pattinson trying to save his brother, and this movie definitely did the same thing. There was this long-winded section that just sidetracked from the main plot, and it felt weird to me. So I don't know why Josh Safdie keeps doing this. He's incredibly talented, but these big sections of the movie that have nothing to do with the main plot, in my opinion, should go. One other small negative that I felt that this movie had was the final table tennis match between Marty and his main rival. The stakes felt a little flat to me, and I don't really want to spoil why. So when you get to the climax of a film, you want the stakes of the character's personal journey and the stakes of their plot to co-align and climax at the same time, right? Everybody loves it when you climax at the same time.
You're nasty and you need Jesus. I'm saving myself for marriage.
But this movie didn't really do that. This movie felt like the stakes were off. And I don't really want to give away exactly why, but the point is, his main rival, I didn't feel like he had as much of a reason to play against
Timothy Chalamet Bing Bong
as
Timothée
did to him. So that felt a little imbalanced. That felt like there was a missing piece of his rival character's motivation, and instead of spending 30-45 minutes on this like long-winded middle section that had nothing to do with the table tennis, maybe we could have given his rival character, I don't know, some actual character. that was a little frustrating. Overall, is this movie worth your time? Yes, definitely. It's one of the best movies of last year. It's one of the best movies of this year so far. It came out in late December, so who cares if, you know. Now, where does it rank with other Josh Safdie movies? Good Time, I think, and Marty Supreme are kind of my 2 and 3. They're neck and neck. It depends on the mood I'm in. But for me,
Uncut Gems
is way up on the top. Uncut Gems is a phenomenal movie. I don't remember that movie losing focus much at all. Adam Sandler, that is the best performance I think maybe we'll ever see from Adam Sandler. That was the year that Joaquin Phoenix played the Joker. And if he had not given us one of the best frickin' performances we had ever seen, I think there's no question Adam Sandler would have took home the Oscar for
Uncut Gems.
Because he was just phenomenal in that movie. And the movie itself, great. So if you like Josh Safdie, if you like his movies, you're gonna like Marty Supreme, no doubt. But if you're a big fan of
Uncut Gems,
like I am, maybe you won't like this quite as much as that. But it, you know, it's close enough. It's still definitely worth watching. But I want to know what you think of it down in the comments below. What's your favorite Timothée Chalamet?
But I would not oblige you to say it like that.
Movie. For me, it's probably Call Me by Your Name. Call Me by Your Name is a beautiful film.
Call me by your name and I'll call you by mine.
And he's phenomenal in it. But he really does have a lot of great movies. I mean, The Dunes, Little Women was a really good movie. Like, there's a bunch of good movies that he's in. So, I mean, Lady Bird, Lord, he's made a lot of good movies. But I want to know what's your favorite down in the comments below. Like and subscribe. See you next time.